Welcome back to the Marine Corps Movie Minute, where we discuss the movies of the Marine Corps 1 minute at a time. Today we're discussing minute 13 of the movie Heartbreak Ridge. I'm your co host, Brian Lockhart.
And I'm Jack Perry.
And minute 13 begins where we left off last time with the good old boys harassing Stitch Jones, asking if they should take care of this. And it ends with a soaking wet Stitch Jones getting on a bus, possibly a Greyhound.
Yeah, in the middle of nowhere.
Right. So the redneck guys, the good old boys throwing garbage at Stitch Jones and him, saying he's got a last minute. He said he's got a 10 gallon. He needed a 10 gallon bag for their, and we find out it's a 10 gallon hat.
Yeah,
Hat.
yeah, Tingo.
And again, they take exception to that, so they say, "Hey, should we take care of this?" and start heading up to on stage. And of course, as he's approaching, they're practically as tall as Stitch Jones before they even get up on stage. So I like what he calls it. He goes, "What are you guys, the twin towers on cellulite?" Which I think is funny. I mean, you didn't say cellulite, cellulite.
Yeah.
and of course they just they look angry at first and they grab him.
Yeah, just carry him out.
Yeah, he immediately just switches gears. He's making fun first. He's like, "Hey, man, I can play country western." No Merle Haggard. Says something else. I'm not sure who he said. I couldn't figure it out. But then he's like, look, man, I need the money. And they just pick him up and basically toss him out. I mean, we don't see him actually getting tossed out of the bar, but it's pretty much implied. They pick him up and start to think like they're going to physically throw him out of the door.
Yeah, he's out.
It's almost like a cartoon comedy, a little bit there where they pick him up like that.
Yeah.
They did everything but get the hook,
Yeah. Dun.
Right. Bong. I just thought it was funny. He's like, "Hey, man, I need the money," which, now that's at a weekly talent show on the sign in the last minute. So I don't know if there was like money involved, if you win, or if it's just. I always just thought like a local talent show is usually like, hey, just kind of get up and it's almost like an open mic night.
Yeah, free or free-ish entertainment for the bar
Yeah.
patrons. Yeah.
Clearly, like I said, that's a country western type place, and he wasn't playing country western, so that ends pretty quick, and they cut to I was calling it a Greyhound bus in my notes, but really, if you pay attention, there's no decals anywhere, no logos or anything on that. It's just generic bus.
Yeah. Yeah, just generic bus. Yeah, there's nothing on it.
Cut to interior of bus, and you can just see that somebody is reading a Bazaar magazine. I guess that's Harper's Bazaar, the women's magazine that's been around since like 1867.
Yeah, been around for a while, I guess.
I guess it's still in publication. You can still get a subscription.
Oh,
It's not one that I ever pay attention to if I'm in the store. Like
bigger
that.
fan of Jugs or Hustler.
Yeah, right. The kind that are with the black bag behind the counter.
Yeah.
Right. That's a different type of women's magazine.
Oh, oops.
Not exactly a gentleman's magazine.
No.
So I thought it was funny. I couldn't place who the woman on the cover is. I feel like it's like I was gonna say like Joan Crawford, but that doesn't sound right. Like somebody from like Designing Women.
Yeah. All the famous movie stars of the day usually were the ones. It's still the case. You got whoever the hot actress is of the minute.
Of the time, yeah. Well, I think it's funny is like it says on there. It's like I couldn't make out all the like cover headlines, but it just said "you!" exclamation point, looking terrific.
Yeah.
And what's funny then too is like something amused Clint Eastwood because he's looking at you and he kind of just smirks and he looks up and there's that sailor just kind of staring at him.
Yeah.
And you kind of wonder what that sailor's thinking because as soon as Clint Eastwood kind of makes eye contact with him, he turns around, doesn't want any part of it.
Yeah, and then the Gunny Highway puts the magazine down, which is that fruit salad on his uniform too, man.
Oh yeah,
all those ribbons.
Yeah, well, and I was wondering too, like if that's more that sailor was looking at. Like, here's a grizzled old Marine veteran, with just a crap ton of ribbons, and he's reading this, women's magazine.
Yeah.
So I tried to look up who this guy was, it just on IMDb, it's just Sailor on Bus, and it's his name is William Walker, but he wasn't even credited. So,
Uh,
but it's funny because they just they credit like Jail Crier, and he's only in
yeah,
for like a second. And this guy's like they prominently zoom in on him, but
yeah,
this was his only credit too. Was this? So I wonder if he was maybe like a real sailor that maybe was just there. I don't know.
yeah. There's a pretty strong military presence where this movie was filmed, so
Yeah, of course.
it's
Yeah,
pretty easy. It's like, hey, you come here. You want to be in a movie? Sure. Yeah,
could be. It really could have been that simple.
yeah. Look disappointed.
So after that, you see Stitch Jones out in the it's pouring rain and it looks in the middle of nowhere, like you said. And so I was wondering, like, is he just like hitchhiking, like hitching a ride, flagging the bus down? He's walking in the rain, or was he at a legitimate bus stop?
Yeah, I didn't see a bus stop.
No, me neither. So that was in my notes, but when we were kind of just watching it now, you could kind of tell like it's only a split second and you can see he's like walking and he stops and
Yeah,
flags him down. It's like half a second. Yeah, you
yep,
can see he like is kind of like walking and looks back because yeah, it's like he's just on the side of the road. So he gets on the bus. I like the way he's is on his jacket, his leather jacket that says Stitch,
yeah. So Stitch. Yeah,
which I did notice in the bar. I don't see it on the bar. Oh no, there it is. There it
yep,
is.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so
It's
it's
in the
there. It
bar.
was just covered up. Yeah.
Yeah,
The minute ends, literally with him getting on the bus and, he's like unzipping his jacket and he's reaching in. That's how, just that's how it ends. So we don't know what he's reaching in for.
yeah,
But I didn't think it's funny. He's wearing his sunglasses at night.
yeah. Because he's the Duke of Cool.
Was it My Science Project when he said, "Hey, when you're cool, the sun shines 24 hours a day."
Yeah,
I mean, that's really it. It's pretty cut and dry.
there's not much to this minute, really.
Yeah, real simple. Stitch Jones hitching a ride, and it happens to be the same bus that our hero Gunny Highway's on. So I'm sure that won't come into play at all. Just
No,
coincidence.
yeah, no, he's just an interesting side character. It can't be.
All right. Well, hey Perry, you look terrific. And you know what, audience members, you look terrific or sound terrific too. And I hope you join us again next time for minute 14. And I haven't done this in a little bit, so I'm going to ask everybody to just check out the moviesbyminutes.com and for other movie by minute podcasts and people who do it a lot more professionally than we do. Also Star Wars Minute guys, I like to thank them for starting this. Actually, we do have a Facebook page. We're kind of just getting it set up. So if anybody wants to search for us on Facebook, we're the Marine Corps Movie Minute Facebook page. I'm sure I'll put a link to it or whatever once we get everything situated. But I just wanted to kind of mention that. And again, I hope everybody comes and joins us. Okay,
Your turn. Haha.
right? Your turn is always my turn. I hope everybody joins us for minute 14. Are you there still? It sounded
Yeah,
like you're back.
I'm still
Okay.
here. I told
All
you
right.
technical difficulties, episode 13.